with this great weather that we're having today, as tempted as I am to head up to San Francisco and get some shots of the landmarks in this clear weather that we're having, I'm still trying to keep these most recent videos close to home. So the area I'm going is literally a few stops down the highway from where I live. And right now it's an hour until sunset. So I'm cutting it a little bit close because I am going up into the hills. I am going up into the trees. And I'm gonna try and shoot. Not sure what all these drivers are doing right now. Okay, they're just blocking the entire road. Thanks, guys. I'm cutting it a little close with the Anyway, I'm cutting it a little close with the time of day, but hopefully it'll work out. We'll find out here shortly. All right, so I'm already here. That only took me about 10 minutes to arrive. I am literally parked on the side of the road, as you can see behind me. But we got the creek down here with some huge rocks, some moss-covered trees, and I'm gonna see what I can find. Right now, what interests me most is this little waterfall right here by the bridge. So what I think I'm gonna try and do is climb across right here and down onto those rocks. And if I can, I'm gonna hang off the edge of those rocks and try to shoot this waterfall and see how it turns out. Just trying not to die. My mother would be so disappointed in me if I did. Okay, so the water here isn't bright blue or crystal clear or anything like that. It's brown. We've had a lot of rain. It's all the runoff coming down from the mountains. But we got a lot of water, which we don't always have. So what I'm going to try and do is set up right here and maybe shoot at an upward angle and see how that looks. It could look interesting with all this green in the background and the rocks right here. So we're going to try it out. So I have my carbon fiber tripod again, mostly because it's lightweight. And it's a little easier to use in a setting like this. I just have to try and get as close to the water as I can without getting soaked. Alright, so the low angle isn't quite working. I'm going to move around a bit. I'm going to try something different, maybe shoot downward, see how it looks. Okay, I can't tell if I want the shot to be wider or if it's just not interesting enough, but I'm not feeling it. So, I'm going to move a little further up the creek and see if I can find something else to try. Whoa! So with all the rain that we've been having in this area, it's caused some mudslides and trees to fall, really a lot of damage to the roads. So this area that I'm walking into right now is an area that has suffered some of that damage. But the interesting thing is, you have all these fallen trees and the wooded area here, which photographically would be very interesting. So this is the area I'm going to shoot right now. I think I'm going to try and climb down there. And one thing to keep in mind if you're climbing into an area that says no admittance or caution or anything like that, be realistic about your abilities to climb down to where you want to go, and just don't get yourself in any sort of stupid situation, because then you're just going to look like an idiot and someone's going to have to come rescue you. Okay, so this area looks pretty cool. The water's brown because of all the dirt from the runoff, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. We have these broken fallen branches. We got a lot of mossy rocks. There's a piece of wood or something on the rock right there in the middle. I'm going to walk out and knock that off because I don't want that in my shot. But I'm going to try and square something up right here and see how it looks. Okay, so here's my plan. So I just knocked off that piece of wood that was right here and realized the view this way is really cool looking. So I had to walk back over here. I'm going to grab my tripod. I'm going to walk out to this flat rock here and I'm going to shoot this way up the creek and see what I can capture. Right now it looks like it'll be Well, like it'll be something. Okay. Right now I'm already seeing a couple different shots. I'm going to try a wide one that has some of these broken branches and everything in it. I'm also going to have a tighter shot right here on these 3 moss-covered rocks. I don't know how deep this is, so I don't necessarily want to shove my tripod in the water. Not this one anyway. If I were to go grab my other one, that would work. But I can try and get a shot right here with these rocks framed by the water rushing around them. And potentially a very low angle shot close up right here. That might actually be what I start with. Right now, I have my camera squared up and centered on this rock right here. It's covered in moss, which is interesting, and it's flanked by waterfalls on both sides. I like how it's looking in my live view, so now I'm going to switch over to camera mode and start taking still photos, try to create something cool. So here's my first test shot. There's going to be a lot of brown in the water, not a whole lot I can do about that until post-processing, maybe tweak the colors a bit, but it's still too bright. So this time of day right now, there's still a lot of ambient light, so that's going to create very bright photos when I'm dragging the shutter. So I'm going to have to cheat that with my ISO, or if you had a neutral density filter, you could throw one of those on here and use that. And similar to last week, I'm using my timed shutter because of the way that I have my tripod placed. I don't want any camera shake when I hit the shutter button. Okay, so I've taken about 24 shots already. What I'm trying to do is find the shutter speed that I feel looks the most pleasant with the speed of this water. There's never a perfect shutter speed. Sometimes it's 4 seconds, other times it's a quarter second. What you need to do is when you're at your location, take multiple shots to really determine which one looks best. And that's a lot of trial and error. But again, right now, with the amount of ambient light that I have a lot of flexibility in adjusting my ISO, adjusting my f-stop, and my shutter speed to find which one I feel looks the best for as fast as the water is rushing over here, along with the slower moving water over here. So after a lot of trial and error, I've determined that what I am personally liking at the moment is 1/5 of a second at f9. Now, I have maybe 10 minutes or so before the lighting changes and my settings are screwed up. But right now, I'm going to take a whole bunch of different photos, same one, same setting, because the water varies each and every image I take. Sometimes it splashes over this side of the rock a little more. Sometimes a small rock over here on the right-hand side gets a lot more splashing over it. And for a little more of a bird's eye view of where I'm currently standing, here it is. This is one of those times you got to be really sure you have some good balance and a good footing. Because if I were to fall in this water right now, I'd probably lose, I don't know, $10,000 in equipment. Okay, so this is going to be a little tricky. I want to get a little bit of the rock that I'm standing on in the photo. So finding the exact spot that I need to balance this camera is going to be a little tricky. You know, there's a vertical shot here somewhere, but at the moment I don't have the time nor the desire to try and find it. I'm going to focus on this shot over here because I like these 3 rocks that are covered in moss. So I'm going to try and capture this before I run out of light. So let's move on. Okay, so this shot here is already a pain in the ass. I'm limited by the fact that I am not climbing into this water because I don't know what's in it, nor how deep it is, and I'm in jeans. But I want this image of these rocks, so I'm trying to make something work. It's close, but the camera's here. Ideally, I want the camera here. Alright, I got a bunch of different shots of these rocks. It's getting a lot darker already. I'm going to try and move to one more spot because I wanted some of those fallen trees, but that might not happen now because it's a little dark and I may have missed my window. I'm actually balanced here on this tiny little rock, trying to shoot this rock here. Well, that's going to have to be it for this week. I think I got some great shots down here at the creek. It's too dark now to try anything else. There's not really anything within driving distance that I can think of off the top of my head to go shoot with the remainder of my evening. So I might just call this video done. Keep it short this time around. Thanks for tagging along. Alright, that's it for this week. Like I said, a little bit of a mess, a little more hectic, and not quite as streamlined as my last couple videos, but hope you guys enjoyed it. So I hope you guys take some time, get out to a place near you, and really get to know the area where you live, and you might find something that you never knew was there before. Anyway, go ahead and hit subscribe at the end of this video, and I'll see you guys next week with whatever I do. I might try to get out to the Redwoods. I know I keep saying that. I still really want to take some time to get out there and to shoot those again. I might head back up to the city, do a little bit more in San Francisco. I really haven't decided yet, but tune in next week and we'll see what I get then. Thanks for watching.